Thank you for joining us here on ACES. I'm Alex, and I'm here with Cece, Emily, and Sam. So today we're talking about man crushes and the reality that comes from them.
And so, like, basically today in the entertainment world, there's been an unfortunate death that we all know about, Mac Miller. He died, like, when he was 26 years old. His friend found him in his LA home, and it's just really, are you laughing? It's an unfortunate event that really just happened.
It's initially, the family asks for privacy and everything, but it's a drug overdose is what really it has come down to, and it's one of many, like, in the entertainment industry today.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you think?
The 911 call was recently released from his friend when he found Mac Miller, which was actually a very sad phone call when you really listened to it, because you really heard the pain in his voice when he found his friend that was passed away from something that's just absolutely horrible to go through.
And it's so jarring to think that that's the reality for so many people in our nation today, and the rampant problem with drugs and drug abuse and alcohol. And
it really makes you put into perspective and realize that it's not just regular people that go through it, it's celebrities, it's
you could
everybody.
be anybody.
or
It
the
could
other
be
way around.
anybody.
It's not just celebrities,
Right.
it's also
It's
regular people.
And you're obviously going to hear about celebrities more often than regular people, but it's definitely a prevalent thing.
Someone like Mac Miller, he's always been open about, like, his drug addictions and what has been going on with him.
Yeah.
With his
So
lyrics.
for us, I mean, it came as a shock to everybody, but at the same time, like, we kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's a great point. Let's touch a little bit on who he was and, like, what his legacy is, what his music was about. Like, why was he so popular?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was because his music was very real and people related to it. He didn't sugarcoat anything.
Right.
It was all real and true.
It was things that other people were going through and they could relate to and understand and believe in, that if they saw this one celebrity that they looked up to, they understood that they were not alone, which is which is people's biggest problem in a situation like this. They feel like they're by themselves all the time, and they realize with looking through these lyrics and listening to him and hearing about him, that they were not alone, that somebody that they looked up to was going through the same thing.
And they're themes that are not only prevalent in his music and his work, but in today's rhetoric in general, mental illness and drug abuse. He was also an incredible inspiration. You said something about feeling like you grew up with him.
Yeah, I grew up with Mac Miller, always listening to him and his music, following him. Like, when I would see him guest star on shows, I would be like, oh my God, I have to watch what Mac Miller's on. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And he encouraged people to follow their dreams.
Yeah.
Like, he was very inspirational, like you said.
Absolutely. Even his lyrics are pretty explicit. I mean, his lyrics, many of his lyrics are explicit on following your dreams, staying true to you, being who you are. The song Senior Skip Day talks specifically about his relationship and his abusive relationship with drugs. The song Matches talks about fame and how when he was in high school, he was nobody. And then, once he's famous, he has money, then everybody wants to, have
be with him, hang out with him, get to know him. But nobody wanted to pay attention to him when he was in high school, which is very unfortunate.
Right. It's the hypocrisy that comes with fame and with being in the spotlight and, why am I now somebody?
Yeah, and with social media today, we feel like we know these celebrities on a personal level. You feel like you're friends with them, and in this case, you feel like you're losing a friend because with social media now, you see their every move and you're looking at them every single day on their day-to-day basis. So when something like this happens, it really hits home with you, you know?
It creates a false sense of intimacy. You see everybody's every move. Seriously, you see people when they have for breakfast, and that's like an intimate space. Like, think about having breakfast with somebody. So it's a very real thing with lots of different celebrities and the way that we view them, you know?
And Mac Miller tried to show that part of his life on social media by having such a fun, open personality, by being so honest with his fans and his viewers. He had a down-to-earth personality. He tried to relate to the regular person instead of just being famous and almost showing that off in a way.
Yeah. And that kind of caused us as young girls to have crushes on him because like I said,
I mean, absolutely.
he was down to earth and
the very well-known man crush. They're everybody had one, regardless of how old you are, regardless of how old you were, you always had one.
Yep.
And that is what we're going to be talking about in our next segment, the man crush. So
on to our next segment of Man Crushes.